everyone, so welcome to today's video. I'm going to be doing a get ready with me, and I'm going to do a mix of some high-end and some low-end. So kind of mixing some drugstore products and a few higher-end products that I have been using. I wanted to also kind of mix in some real new stuff that I have not used yet. Some newer products that I may have used once, twice, and I want to just revisit. And then some existing favorites and some existing products that I've been using on camera and off camera in my personal time, and just kind of do a full face and kind of pull myself together. So as you may already have noticed, I have my brows partially done. I will continue to fill in and set when we get towards the eye part of the video. Before I get into the products, I want to also revisit something that I felt like did not work for me. And I thought it was the product, but it looks like it could potentially be my skin. I've been going through a phase of kind of having some dryness and skin that just kind of looks just textured and uneven. And I also had areas where the foundation was clinging and it just looked like a bunch of dry, dead skin, which is gross, I know. My skin feels soft, so I didn't know that the product that I'm going to use today as a base was going to be a problem. I didn't think that my skin was in a place where it was an issue because everything else prior to trying that product looked fine. So that was a shock to me, and it was part of my drugstore fails video, and I really wanted to give it another shot. So I've done some skincare, I've exfoliated, I've done my serums, all my moisturizer, all the things, and I really hope that my skin, fingers crossed, is gonna cooperate today. So I want to start with a primer, and this primer is from Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter Soft Matte Instant Retouch Primer. It is a soft matte, and I think it might be okay with the Revlon Illuminance Serum Tint. This was a product in my drugstore fails that did not look very good, and I'm hoping that today is going to be better, but we'll see how this works. I have it in shade 117, and I'm going to use my BK Beauty 109 brush. It's the small version of the 101, which is really great. These brushes are great quality. If you haven't tried any, I would encourage you to check them out. They do make some really good brushes. Avoid the under eye area with this primer because it is a soft matte. And I'm using just a small amount because, again, I'm not sure how this primer is going to work with that serum tint from Revlon. Okay, here we go. We're going in with the Revlon Illuminance Serum Tint. And I think I mentioned in the beginning that I wore shade, or I'm wearing shade 117. It's going to be listed and linked for you down below. But in my drugstore fails video, I'm pretty sure I used the brush to apply. So I'm using my Hourglass Ambient brush to blend this right over the Fenty primer. And I'm going to hope for the best. Now, I feel like the match is pretty good. The best I've done ever at the drugstore. And I don't know, I find that it's one of those products where it could potentially be a good one, and it's a very light coverage. And these sort of serum tints, skin tints kind of products that fall in that tinted moisturizer category tend to be more sheer to begin with. So it will be one that you may have to layer if you want more coverage. And I didn't get a chance to build it up too much in my last video because it looked so bad. Like, to the point where if I weren't filming, I would have gone and washed my face and just not done any makeup for the day. Like, it was just not, it was not good at all. And I was kind of sad. I was excited to try it, and I just felt like it was so disappointing. I do see a little bit of streaking with the brush, but it is looking much better. Okay, not 100%, but this is a marked improvement from my first time. And I'm so happy that my skin is cooperating, but I am also happy that I gave this a second shot to do something just like a light, thin, easy complexion routine for the day. So much better. It's light, it's thin coverage, it's not gonna feel heavy, it's not looking cakey right now, to me at least. On camera, it might look a little bit better, hopefully, than the first time. If you watched my drugstore fails video, you probably saw how just bad it was looking, and I was not happy. So I am better feeling about it right now, and so we'll see how this wears throughout the rest of the day. This could be a new combo, you guys. I don't know. We're going to try it out. I'm going to use this again tomorrow with a normal go-to primer of mine because this was a new product for today's video, this Fenty primer. So we'll see, and I will definitely come back and put some notes in the description box and let you guys know how it turns out. Now I get to do a little bit of concealing. I do feel like I have to conceal my under eye area, and I have this concealer from Revlon. This is the Skin Awaken 5-in-1 concealer that I got very recently. And I believe I may have used this for the first time in that drugstore fails video. The shade is a little too light for me, but I do like how brightening it is, especially in the inner corner. So I'm going to use that today, and I'm going to mix it with this concealer from Lancome. This is the Tint Idole All Over Concealer. This one ended up being too dark for me, and I ordered the shade 110 in this formula. So I think mixing the two, I may have a better match. So I'm going to start with the Revlon right in through here. And you see how light that is? It's too light. And this is shade 003, and I believe this is Cool Ivory is what it's described as, but this looks almost white. It's very, very brightening and very light. So this one from Lancome is a good formula. It's nice and thin, has good coverage, but it's, I think, too dark for my skin. I match myself very, very wrong. But I think the two will balance each other out. I'm going to use my beauty sponge to blend all of this together. I'm going to add a little bit more on this side. I had the same issue yesterday when I was using this concealer yesterday. I felt like this eye wasn't as bright, and I can still see a little bit of darkness. So I'm going to add a little bit more. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of the Lancome, just little dots right on here because I have some discoloration on the outer corner of my eye. So that one little dot should be sufficient. And I'm going to go ahead and continue blending this out with my sponge. So I have a new tool to try. I've had this for quite some time, and this actually was in my little basket of hair ties upstairs. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to bring this downstairs when I went to go get my headband to pull my hair back. I want to try this. It's from Real Techniques. It's got like the sort of traditional velvety flocked kind of sponge puff thing on one side that's pink, and then you flip it and it's kind of spongy, squishy, soft, silicone-y. It's just got a very interesting texture to it on this orange side, and I think it's meant to use for liquids and creams, and then this is the pink side for the powders. So I'm going to try to see, can I move this band, this logo band? Let's flip it. Oh yes, I can. Okay, and I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Diamond Powder, the skincare powder. I did a video on the new Physicians Formula brand of products for 2024. If you haven't seen it, the video cards here will take you to that. I reviewed this product and I actually really enjoyed it, and I've been using it ever since. So it comes with a window that you can kind of cover to prevent it from spilling out and making a mess. So I'm going to just take that pink side and I'm going to press this into the netting. It has like a mesh netting so that it doesn't make a mess, which I like. It's a nice little touch for a drugstore brand to do. I'm going to pick up some of this. I don't know if this is going to be too heavy or too much for my under eye area. I don't typically use puffs for setting. I usually just use my beauty blender. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work. And I do have the one from the Beauty Blender brand because I wanted to compare it. And I should have brought that down to do one sponge on one side and then the drugstore on the other. So I may have to do that separately. Okay. I mean, I can tell that it's set. It doesn't look heavy and too drying, which is good. But I don't know if, I don't know, it just feels kind of different and strange because I'm not used to it. And this is not as soft. I don't know. There's like no flexibility, no give. Whereas with the sponge, you push it and it kind of moves with your skin. This feels a little bit more stiff. And I think it's just because the orange side is a little bit more of a firmer kind of material. I don't know. And it's kind of very squishy and super padded. I don't know. It's bizarre. If you've tried it, let me know what you think of it. So with this, I could tell that there's more powder on my under eye area. It still doesn't look bad, heavy, or dry, but I can tell that there's more product placed with this than I noticed when I use my damp sponge. I feel like this helps sort of absorb any excess powder and product, so it just looks a little bit better, and I think I still prefer this option of applying and setting. I just love my beauty blender. What can I say? It's a favorite of mine. Moving into bronzer, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Tan Lines. And then for a little touch of something extra, let's use some Physicians Formula Butter Glow. This is the bronzer and blush. This was also featured in their new 2024 collection. And it's giving me some Estee Lauder kind of bronze goddess vibes, right? Does it not? It looks pretty. It has sort of like a leaf kind of imprint, and it had some shimmer, sheen to it, a little bit of bronze. So I'm going to aim for the bronze side because this has a little bit of shimmer, a touch of pink. So it's supposed to be bronzer and blush. I don't know if this brush is one, too big. Two, I don't know if I really like this for bronzing and blush. I think I'm just gonna, let's just add some here and use it and apply it over the putty bronzer, and then like I would blush, and see how that looks with the eye look. And I may just leave it. Next up for blush, I'm going to use a cream blush from Tower 28. This is the Magic Hour blush in Beach Please, or is it Beach Please and then Magic Hour is a color? I don't know, but it says it on the back, Beach Please, and then underneath Magic Hour. So it looks like this. It's a really pretty sort of everyday color, and I love the BK Beauty 112 for this, and I may have used this already in a video, but this brush is perfect for picking up the product and blending this. This was a product that actually a subscriber of mine had asked me if I have used it. And I believe this was a shade that she purchased. So I went and I ordered it myself right away to try it. Because I love when you guys share your recommendations and your favorites with me. And I do like it. I do think it's pretty. It's a nice sort of flush. I tend to go kind of heavy-handed with my blush almost always. So I go back in with my beauty sponge and I just blend this out. And it leaves a nice kind of glow because it's a cream. So I'm taking a little bit of Bermuda Putty Blush from e.l.f. This is the Luminous formula, and I'm going over the top of that to sort of help give me a bit of glow to the skin and give me highlighter optional skin because of the soft kind of radiance to it. But after blending, I do see that it is lifting the serum tint underneath. So that's something to note. That serum tint probably needs to be set with some type of powder, because blending the two of these over the top and then the bronzer, I feel like it's just sort of lifting. I have like a little patch right in through here that looks a little bit more dewy and luminous, but I can see more of my skin poking through that. So I feel like I need to probably set this serum tint in the future when I go to use it. But it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's something that's, I can work with it. I can kind of layer a little bit more of the maybe putty. And I feel like sometimes you can fix it. It just depends on how intense the lifting is, that it just might not be a good idea to continue messing with it. So I'm just gonna let it be. I'm moving on. I'm not gonna let it bother me. I wanted to do something kind of simple and quick today, and I love these jumbo crayon type of shadow sticks or eyeliner sticks, like the ones that I talked about recently, the Laura Geller ones, the ones from Charlotte Tilbury, the Color Chameleons. I have the Bobbi Brown ones, the Laura Mercier Caviar sticks. I reach for those very often on my personal time because I can get myself ready pretty quickly and head out the door without leaving with a complete no makeup look. This takes no time at all to do a quick look, some mascara, and I'm all about one shadow look. So I'm going to show you this one today. This is the Makeup Forever. These are the Aqua Resist Smoky Shadow Sticks. And this is shade number 12, Sunrise. And it's a pretty color. It's a 24-hour waterproof crayon type of eyeshadow. You can get them in tons of different colors at Sephora or even on the Makeup Forever website. And I chose one that's kind of bronzy, kind of everyday, simple, and not too crazy, not too dark, not too light, just kind of somewhere in the middle. So I've already primed, by the way, with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, as I always do. So I'm going to go straight in, right on to my lids. And I like to just scribble this on. And I do work one eye at a time because this is a waterproof formula. I don't like to let it set too much before blending. And I'm going to use a Sigma Firm Shader E57 brush to blend and soften that line. And blend it up towards the crease. And this color is just so beautiful. Do you see that? I will list and link some of my favorites down below in case you want some other color options and some other brands, different price points. I'm going to use the same one on the lower lash line. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this specific shade in a video before, but these ones they're really creamy. They remind me a lot of the Bobbi Brown ones. and the Caviar sticks, they're all kind of similar. They all create a nice sort of waterproof formula that doesn't crease, doesn't move around. And they really make great bases as well. So if you haven't tried using something like this as a base to other eyeshadows, that's a nice little tip that you can try. And then I'm going to use this one from Laura Geller. This is the Soft Black Coal. These are the newer shades that were added to the existing range. And I did a video talking about the Soft Slate. So this is a bit softer, more cooler, more gray toned. And this one is a little bit more intense, but it's still a soft black where you can use it as eyeliner. And it gives you the intensity of black without being really harsh. So I like using this one for tight lining. And so what I like about these is that they do stay on. And I took out my Victoria Beckham eyeliner in brown, but I think I'm just going to show you how I use this one for actual eyeliner. And I always like to have an angled brush handy to blend out the edges. If you want, you can also kind of swipe your brush across the tip of the crayon and then apply it that way. It's going to give you a softer look, but I'm going to go straight into this. They do have a sharpener on the end, just like the Makeup for Everyone does. But I'm just going to use this one and just do like tiny little lines, and then I'm going to connect all of that and soften with my brush. And much like the Makeup for Everyone's, you do have to work quickly with these, and that's a typical thing that you will experience with Longwear cream shadows. They will set pretty quickly. You do have a little bit of time, and that varies from brand to brand, but these that I like to use and the ones that I will list down below, some of my favorite colors and other brands, you have a little bit of playtime before they set. So again, one eye at a time. And then of course, we got to finish it all off with some mascara. The L'Oreal Telescopic Lift is the one that I have open from the drugstore and in my rotation currently. So I'm going to do a good 2 coats of this, and then I'm going to show you one of my favorite new lip combos that I started doing recently that I just love. Okay, so eyes are done. Now we get to do that lip combo, and I want to show you a few different things that I have been using lately. And I'm mixing 2 lipsticks. One is from Hourglass and then one is from Victoria Beckham. And I purposefully did this because I wanted to use my Hourglass more. It kind of got lost in a bunch of my lipsticks in the drawer. And I'm kind of in this mode of going through my collection, shopping my stash, and I did a shop my stash video recently as well. Just kind of pulling from the drawer the products that I have used and enjoyed, forgotten about, some products that maybe need a second chance or a little bit more finessing, like the Revlon that we did today, and just kind of using some things that need to be shown some love. So I got to start the lip look with one of my favorite lip liners. I have loved these ever since I rediscovered them. These are the NYX lip pencils, the traditional wooden ones. They are around $4 to $5 max, and they are absolutely incredible. This one that I'm going to use today is called Nude Pink. I love Peekaboo Neutral. I bought a bunch of them, and I have enjoyed them over the last couple of months. So on my lips, I had just a little bit of my lip balm from Naturel, but I'm just going to go right over that with the lip liner. And then I also like to fill it in as well with the same pencil. Okay, so now for the magic combo. Let's start with the Hourglass lipstick. This is the Unlock lipstick in the shade Oasis, number 312. And I'm going to do just a little bit. And that's one swipe over the lip liner. You can see it's a really pretty nude shade. Just a little bit, right? So it gives a bit more of a kind of cool nude vibe over the pink, which I really like. And you could just leave it like that if you have both of these products. But then here comes my Victoria Beckham Posh lipstick in the shade called Twist. I love this formula. This is going to add a little bit more pink. And then here's the lip with the Victoria Beckham Posh lipstick in Twist over the top. I love these two together. There's a little bit of a cool brown vibe from the Hourglass, a little bit of the pink with the Victoria Beckham, and then of course the Nude Pink from the NYX Lip Liner. The formulas of both of these are super luxurious. It's an investment, I get it. These lipsticks are quite pricey, but they are luxurious feeling. The formula, the packaging, it's a nice little treat, and it does feel expensive going on. It doesn't feel cheap and like I've been scammed out of money for a formula that is not as good as the drugstore, right? These are phenomenal quality, and I love the Hourglass packaging. I love bunnies, so it has a little bunny with their logo. I love it. Love everything about it. I wasn't gonna do highlighter. I know, who am I? I always do highlighter, but let me show you what I discovered, okay? I love a good highlighter. I like a soft highlight. I like something in between, and then I like that beaming, kind of see me from outer space. There's a time and place for each of those, right? And I bought the Glow Seeker highlighter from ABH back a couple of months ago. I think it was October maybe, during the Sephora holiday savings event. And it's a shade called Sun Idol. This looked really pretty, kind of misleading a bit online, and here's what I'll say. It's more gold in person than I thought it was going to be, based off of what I saw in various photos on social media and on their website and everything. It just seemed a little more champagne. So when I use this, the way I use any highlighter, it was too gold. And it sat in my drawer for a good month and a half, and I didn't even use it. I used it here and there, slightly kind of over my lids for a bit of sheen to it, but I finally found a way to make this work so that I can actually use it and get my money's worth, because this was not cheap. The packaging is really pretty, very hefty, very weighted. The formula is great. ABH is a great brand. I don't have anything negative to say, except if you have fair skin like me or more fair than I am and you apply too much of this, it sits like a gold stripe on the skin, and that, to me personally, it's not flattering on me. So what I discovered was that using a brush like this looks like a huge, fluffy, oversized crease brush, right? This is from the Morphe Ariel brush set. It's the A22 if you have that brush set, which if I can find it, I will link it for you down below. It's one of the brushes in that piece. Otherwise, find something, if you have this highlighter and have the same problems as I do, find something that's huge and fluffy and wispy and very light. Nothing that's too dense, because it's going to deposit a lot. This is very blinding, okay? So what I do is I take this really big fluffy brush and I just tap just ever so slightly, and then I just lightly graze the top of my skin to give me a little bit of glow, right? So I'll do it again, just tap, and then it gives me a very subtle kind of sheen. I can see a little bit of the shimmer, but it's not looking gold. I feel like that brush really helps make this doable for me. So there it is. And that's it, my friends. We are finally complete with our face for the day. I hope you enjoyed this. This was fun to try some new products, revisit some things, kind of show you some new combinations of products that I really have been enjoying, and just doing a very simple and quick and easy eye look that I do pretty much off camera every time I get myself ready, if I'm being honest, because I just don't have a lot of time to dedicate to doing a full routine or spending 20 minutes on an eye look. I just don't have that on most days. So I just really love these eye products. I'm going to have everything listed and linked for you, as always, in the description box. But I really like this look. We had some little minor hiccups here and there throughout the process, but I think that's normal when you're combining a bunch of different brands and different textures and finishes. You're going to have some issues with blending possibly, or, you know, just things may not mesh very well. Certain formulas don't work well with each other. And it is what it is. It's part of the process of trying and testing makeup, but I do feel like I did a pretty decent job overall. Especially right here, I try to fix that little patch, and hopefully the highlighter that I added kind of disguised a little bit. I don't know. You tell me if you can see a little bit of patchiness and lifting there. But overall, I feel like the complexion looks fresh. It looks youthful, and it's just light. You can still see a lot of my imperfections, some sunspots, little scarring that I have, because this serum tint is a light finish. So know that going into it, if you purchase this product based off of this video or other videos that you see, it is a light coverage product, sheer to light, kind of slightly buildable, but you're not going to get a whole ton of coverage. So you may need to go in with some additional concealer if you still want to use that product. But I will use it again tomorrow with a different primer and come back and share with you my thoughts if I had the same result, because this overall looks 100% better than the first time, because the first time I was even cringing at the fact that I even posted that video. Couldn't even believe it, but I thought, that's real, it's organic, it's authentic. I'm gonna post it because that's my real experience. So anyways, enough blabbling. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you stay tuned through the whole video, thank you so much for spending some of your busy day with me today. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Check out the description box. Everything that you need to know will be listed and linked for you. And you can also follow me on Instagram if you have social media. So do I. We can be friends there. We can chat. And I hope to see you there. And I'll catch you in my next video. Take care, you guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.